Welcome to Khetz Tutorials, and in this video I'll be showing you how to use shortcuts. So in the previous video we created a simple voltage divider which looks something like this. So just press the new schematic button over there. So our voltage divider looks something like this. So at a voltage source we had two resistors. The voltage source had a value of 5 volts and that resistor had a value of 1k. That one had a value of 1k as well. So this was a voltage divider, and we expect the voltage across each resistor to be half of the total, which is 2.5 volts, and we expect our current across the circuit to be around about 2.5 milliamperes. Now we're going to build the exact same circuit but using a faster approach. How can we do that? Well, we can use shortcuts. So this is the aim of this video. I want to introduce you to some of the many shortcuts which LTspice has. So let's start. Let's get into the video. So to put in a voltage source, press the button V. And if you look at that, we already have a voltage source. If you're looking for a resistor, press the button R. And you already have that. Control R, you can rotate that to that point. Control R again, you have that. To introduce a wire, press F3. If you press F3, you now have your wires. You're going to connect your circuit, just as we previously did. And the length of these wires doesn't really matter in your simulation. And finally, we need a ground, so press G. So if you press G, you're going to have the ground. Press F3 again to get your wires, and we have a complete circuit. So we just did what we previously did in the previous video, but using much less time. All that you have to do now is to assign values for each of the components. So 5 volts for the voltage source, 1k for that resistor, 1k for that resistor as well. And the final thing will be to set up the simulation. But before we do that, let's talk about a few more shortcuts. So another shortcut that you can use, which might be useful to you at a later stage, is the copy shortcut, which you probably know if you've used word processing apps. So Control C should bring up this thing, and you can select a specific element to copy, or you can Control C, then select this whole circuit and copy all of it. So this is very useful if you're building multiple circuits which have the same layout but different values. Another shortcut which you can use is F7. So with F7, it allows you to move components out of circuits or out of their place without affecting the wires. But if you press F8, then it will also move the wires around. So you can actually move that voltage source up there if you think it looks better that way. And if you see this hand, that means that your F8 is still active, so you can use it somewhere else. So if you want to move this until it's proportional or until you're happy with it, then you feel free to do that. Now press escape to exit your current shortcut or current setting. So this is our circuit, and we now want to verify that it's the exact same circuit that we had in the previous video. So to do that, we're going to press run. Now if you don't want to set your simulation up after pressing run, you can just come to simulate, then go to edit simulation CMD. It's just a bit longer, but it does the exact same thing. So if you press that, then it should give you this prompt or this window over here. And this is where you're going to set your simulation time. So 100 micro is what we had in the previous video. So let's use that. So now we're going to probe again the first point over there, 5 volts, which is what we expected. Press that point and drag it over to the other side, and you see that we have 2.5 volts. Do the same for the other resistor, and you'd see that we have the exact same thing. So this circuit is the exact same circuit that we had in the previous video, but we built it in less time using shortcuts. So now we've talked about a few shortcuts, and there are a lot more. And if you aren't happy with the default settings of these things, then feel free to change them. So if you go to Tools, Control Panel, then this option, Drafting Options over there, and go to Hotkeys, which is down here. You'd see all of these settings over here for all of the shortcuts, and you can edit any of these. So if you click on a particular one, then press a button, then it will change it to that. So for example, if I want to change this component placement, so I didn't show you this one, so let me just quickly show you that one first. So previously, to find a component, we pressed this button. Now you can just press F2 to open the same window. Now we didn't need it in our case because these are basic elements which you can just press letters for. So V for the voltage source, R for the resistor, and G for ground. But if you want to find more components in LTspice, just press F2 and you should be able to search for the component that you want. Now back to Tools, Control Panel, Drafting Options, Hotkeys. Now if I wanted to change this one, then I would come in there, highlight that or select it and press F3 and it will change that to F3. But you see that it's in conflict with this one over here, so I wouldn't be sure what to do. So let's just change it back. So it's F2. Now we're going to say OK, and if you're worried that you might have changed any of these, just say reset to default values and you should be good to go. So that is how you change your shortcuts, and that is where you'd inspect what each of the shortcuts do or how you can access them. So in this video we covered shortcuts, and these are really helpful if you want to quickly draft simulation. So I hope the video was useful, and if it was, please give it a like, and I'll see you in the next video.